Welcome in or welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about some type of negotiation involving the uncovering of the energetic blockages, preventing effective diplomacy or resolution regarding a specific international issue. For example, a refugee crisis, a trade dispute, etc. All right, so Alright, I guess we'll start off with the cards and just see what comes out with like the regular or my new deck that I made. So right off the bat, we got the Trickster, the Unbound. Okay. The Oracle in the Smoke. The Unopened Safe. The Loaded Chamber. The Wild Card, the Muse. So we got two of the most powerful cards in the deck out on the table. The Velvet Curtains in the reverse. Alright, I'm going to pause this a minute and sit on this and try to figure out what this is saying. So this is essentially saying there's a total reset, total system collapse happening that was predicted by this Oracle in the Smoke figure who sees something happening before it happens, okay? And this total system collapse is going to result in loss, bankruptcy, and fragility. The safe door is ajar, showing only dust and a single worthless nickel. The material potential has been hollowed out. Crime is terribly revealing. Try and vary your methods as you will. Your tastes, your habits, your attitude of mind, and your soul is revealed by your actions. Agatha Christie, Hercule Poirot. So the Loaded Chamber is talking about the driving force, willpower that establishes the energy for matter to form. It talks about imminence, critical mass, intentionality, preparedness. A close-up of a hammer cocked back on a revolver. The will, in quotes, is fully coiled. One pull of the trigger will change the physical world forever. A man's imagination is his best guide, provided he has the willpower to follow it to the end of the barrel. Sherlock Holmes. So again, that's just confirmation. There's gonna be this like reset or whatever. And I guess it's just saying to be prepared for this. Alright, and then we have the Wild Card, the Muse, and the Upright. This is Ain Soph or Limitless Light. The blank retainer, a stark white hot spotlight hits a clean empty desk in a dark, I don't know what that says, a dark something of ice. I don't know, it's a typo, sorry guys. In the center of the light sits a fresh, unwritten check and a single unlit match. The detective's hand reaches from the shadows, poised but not yet touching the paper. So in the upright is the cosmic yes, pure potential, inception, openness, and spontaneity. Divine spontaneity, the soul before incarnation, the jump. In the upright, this is the moment of pure, unadulterated potential. Every clue is possible. No suspects have been ruled out. It is the rush of adrenaline when a case begins, and the universe seems to align to provide a path. The world is full of obvious things which nobody by any chance ever observes. But for one moment, everything is possible. Sherlock Holmes. The Copper Beaches. So this is, just highlighting the path opening, all the possibilities, opening, the spontaneous combustion is being set forward. And then we have the 8 of Hearts in the reverse. I just felt like an energy shoot down from my heart, like into my... Is that my sternum? Is that your sternum? Like where your ribs meet in the center, like under in the center of your chest. I don't know, guys. Okay, so decay, cheapness, superficiality, lost shine. Moths eating through the velvet, a layer of dust on a crystal chandelier. The structure of beauty is rotting from within. The problem with high society is that the higher you go, the thinner the air and the rot gets. So this is talking about there being this reset happening as predicted, and it's going to end in this total system collapse, and everything that people valued as beautiful is going to be gone, basically. Because in the upper, it's refinement, quality, aesthetic order, sensory harmony. The resonance of luxury and how it organizes space. So, like, no more luxurious lifestyle, I guess. So let me see here. Who is this no more luxurious lifestyle talking about, Spirit? Who's not gonna have the luxurious lifestyle? Is it like everyone? Is it one specific person? Paternal cousin. Okay. Why is that? First of all, how many people? 4 people are not gonna. Okay. What's the paternal cousin's intentions? Got you are in your divine energy. Okay. I don't think Spirit wants to tell us. It must be really bad. We also got divine, benefic, unconditional love, God or goddess wants you is / on your side. Okay. Alright, so fuck this, I guess. Whatever. Who cares? I mean, I guess we could see who else. Let's see. A student. Oh, jeez. A child. And a coworker. Okay. Now, a child doesn't mean that it has to be a young child. It could be, an adult child. It's somebody who's watching right now's child. Something about voting rights. So, uncover the energetic blockages preventing effective diplomacy or resolution regarding a specific international issue. Voting rights. So, is one of the issues. Education stratification, biased sorting and grouping, unfair advantages, unequal resources, affluent areas typically have better funded schools, exacerbating gap between rich and poor achievements, policy and funding, government policies like property tax-based funding and societal structures influence stratification levels significantly. So government policies like property tax-based funding and societal structures and yeah, okay. So that's definitely a problem. That just promotes inequality and suffering and division. Trust erosion in institutions. Intrapersonal moral injury from acting against one's conscience. So a lot of guilt out there in the collective. Yeah. All right, so some ocean acidification again. And right under that, ocean governance. Okay. And then we also have evaluation issues. Need analytic hierarchic mechanism, i.e. issues like telecom network performance evaluation of employees. So there needs to be a analytical hierarchic mechanism for evaluating employees. There is way too many people out there that probably shouldn't have the positions that they have because they don't care. They simply do not care. And when you don't care, you don't do your job. When you don't do your job, people suffer tremendously. Now, I'm not saying, okay, so like somebody today was talking about once you stop caring, you're truly free. But they specified by saying you have to keep striving to reach your goals even without the promise of reward or without getting anything in return, and empty yourself of emotions, of feelings, all that stuff. Some people, in order to actually so like that's like not caring about outcome, not caring about, so like when I said, you know, it's people don't care, what I meant was they don't care about the work they're doing, they don't care about the goals that they're supposed to, the tasks, they don't care about achieving the tasks that are involved or entailed in the specific job that they're hired for. So we have ancestral rage coming out, overreaction disproportionate to the present moment, hidden intelligence, unprocessed generational trauma. The transmutation method is epigenetic letter burning. Write as if you are the ancestor and then burn the letter while speaking their grief aloud. This could be very helpful for people out there that are dealing with the moral injury from acting against one's conscience, because when you go into fight or flight mode, sometimes people can't get out of it, you become literally stuck in it, and it's honestly pretty easy to get stuck in it the way society is set up. All right, let's see what else is going on here. Uncover the energetic blockages preventing effective diplomacy or resolution. Oh, you know what? Let's do... Haven't done these in a while. Do strategy and morality. Moralis. So one of the blockages is ancestral rage. People acting like impulsively, you know. Symbolic leadership and personal example. Upright leaders who embody values and inspire wider adherence. Example, moral authority of leaders like Gandhi and MLK strengthened movements when actions matched words. Yes, it's super important to live in integrity, especially when you have a leadership position. So what values should these leaders that are involved in these conflicts have? Liberalism. Hedonism came out, which is like enjoying yourself, right? And then also environmentalism. So I feel like a mixture of these would be a good way to go. That's what Spirit's saying. Oh no, everything just fell. Okay. So this is something we're not aware of. Strategic patience and timing. Choose moments carefully to maximize political effect. Rushed actions squander political capital and opportunities. Gandhi timed campaigns to build mass participation and international attention. Yes, so timing things out better. So what's a good time frame for these people to do their next move, Spirit? Let's see. Week. Roll the dice to see how many. So Spirit's saying to wait at least a week. 2 weeks. All right. What's the stakes at hand if they don't listen to this warning or this time frame? Person versus person stakes. A better, healthy, psychological, professional, or physical life. So if you follow this, that's something you would have to look forward to. Physically or emotional pain and injury. I don't know why I wrote that like that. Physical or emotional pain and injury. Person versus person stakes. So if you don't listen, you are going to be at risk of that. Okay? Plot goal lost or achieved. A better, healthier psychological life. Last one. Opportunities gained or lost. All right. What are some resolutions here that could help the people dealing with this, Spirit? Learning how to live with the supernatural element. Person versus the supernatural. Interestingly enough, here we, this is like a lot of supernatural stuff going on here. Got the trickster, the wild card, and the oracle and the snake in the smoke. I almost said snake. So instead of trying to get rid of that kind of stuff, knowledge from the collective, trying to actually educate people, because it's literally part of reality. And people need to learn about it. They need to understand it. That's, goes right back to the whole thing with the institutions. The problem with the institutions. Trust erosion in institutions. People are not being taught what they need to be taught. Dumbing down your citizens is the dumbest strategy that I could ever conceive. Why would you do that? That would there's naturally going to be, a percentage of the population. Like, you don't have to interfere in that. Okay? There's naturally going to be that. You don't have to dumb it down to the extent. You guys are literally making everyone freaking brain dead. Fulfilling a prophecy in an unexpected way. Person versus fate. Oh, interesting. I was thinking about a prophecy that I believe was a prophecy because it, I made a poem about the war and stuff, and then all of a sudden Israel went to war. And I don't know if I should share this. Let me see. Should I share this? Oh, whoa. That's a big fuck no. Okay. I've never seen that. 3 6s, dude. That is the biggest no. Okay. Okay. I'm definitely not going to share that then. Being exiled from society or put to death. Oh, great. Okay. I would love to be exiled from this society, personally. I fucking hate this society. Shit sucks. Or, like, my ancestral lands to be given back. That's that ancestral rage. I can feel that. Coexists and camaraderie. Under that litigation. What's fair is fair. What's not needs to go way the fuck over there. Reflection, contradiction preceding the conflict you're dealing with. Contradiction preceding the conflict you're dealing with. Okay. I could see that. I mean, with every war, it's like it goes back centuries or even longer. And then there's always like, they're the one to blame. No, they're the one to blame. No, they're the one to blame. No, they struck first. No, they struck first. No, they did this. No, they did that. And it's like, how about you solve your problems in an intellectual way instead of with destruction and death and violence? Like, get a freaking clue. Y'all, if you really need to battle and get that, like, rage out, bring up the gladiator freaking pits again or whatever, and people can willingly choose to fight in them. Although that will become corrupt too, and people will be forcing others to do it, and this is unbelievable. But there could be like a universal signal, like if you do something specific with your hand, that means you're being forced. So, like, you know what I mean? Accommodating eyes, unassertive and unassertive and cooperative. In this mode, you try to satisfy the other person's concerns at the expense of your own concerns. Being more accommodating and not being such tyrannical psychopaths. Sociopaths. I don't know the right proper term. Probably a little bit both. Alright, let's see what this Codex Morales has to say. The Lost Manuscript. You may be chasing what is obsolete or incomplete. Institutions erase inconvenient discoveries to maintain dominance. Exactly. They dumb down the population, take away their power. That needs to stop. The Broken Veteran. Those who bore the cost of survival deserve care, truth, and reintegration, not abandonment. You may be isolating yourself in shame or anger, refusing support. Institutions discard those they used once their purpose is fulfilled. Yeah, that needs to stop as well. That's like what they were doing with the dolphins today. Or I don't know if it was today, but I saw the video today. These dolphins are wicked smart, and they figured out, you know, how to communicate with them and stuff. And they trained them to like this is actually real, guys. This is actually real. They train them to like put trackers on people and stuff that are like trying to sneak in the ocean or something. I don't even know. Like, just they basically have them as their own like little police, like ocean police, which is crazy. Sanctioned cruelty. So anyway, they ended up murdering a bunch of them. They washed up on the shore. They're trying to say, oh, it was natural, and somebody who's lived their whole life, they're like, that is not natural. That never happens. You may be minimizing cruelty because it is legal or normalized. Yeah, oh, it's just a dolphin, or oh, it's just this, or oh, it's just that. And it's like, no, it's not just that. And that, it's funny, that goes with the ocean governance. I'm calling judgment on that ish. I know I got some say with that because I got my midheaven in Neptune. So, booyah, bitches. Justice for the dolphins. How about that? For all the ocean creatures that keep getting violated. So let's see what justice is going to be served with the ocean spirit, with the dolphins specifically too. Ancestral court. Your lineage receives healing. Inherited injustices dissolve. Beautiful. What other justice is going to be served in all these different situations? International outcry. Global voices demand accountability. Pressure forces action. Alright, let's see what else is going on with this storyline here. The handoff in reverse. Somebody trying to get some kind of inheritance that they're not hold on. So this is corruption, loss, greed, material instability, an empty safe, or a signature forced at gunpoint. The inheritance, and it's funny, it landed right under the loaded chamber. The inheritance is a debt or a cursed legacy. A man who has nothing to lose is the only one who can afford to be honest. So a forced signature at gunpoint, that's like what happened to my ancestors. Okay. What else? So there was this pure potentiality, right? For everything to be like reset and be this beautiful new world. And then someone decided, oh, I'm going to destroy all things beautiful and force people into contracts that they shouldn't be forced into, because I think I'm smarter than them, because they don't understand my language, so I think I'm smarter than them, even though you're fucking not. And you know, I'm gonna be cruel and everything, and it's all good. It's not all good. So then we got, let's see, Seven of Hearts. The click of the lock. How things are structured. The resonance of a completed puzzle. Synergy, harmonization, structural success, resolution. A close-up of a heavy iron safe handle turning. The resonance is the satisfying thrum of tumblers falling into place. The structure of the mystery is finally aligned with the detective's mind. And it is an old maxim of mine that when you have excluded the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth. Sherlock Holmes. I gotta stop reading these quotes because they're kind of stupid and I gotta fix them. Alright. I actually like quotes. But these were AI generated and the AI was being lazy, dude. Alright. Or I noticed like the past like week they dumbed down my AI like so much. I'm like, are you kidding me? But it's only like with certain things. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. It's not stable. It's not stable at all, and it just changes up on me. I don't like that. All right. So like I actually really don't like that. The evidence seizure. So this solution is coming in, has to do with this evidence seizure. 5 of diamonds. Manifestation of severity through trade, survival, and material security. Upright. Judgment, material loss, accountability, hard reality. A grim official slapping a seize notice on the door of a penthouse. The material security stripped away as a disciplined consequence of the crime. In the end, I know I said I wasn't going to read the quote, but I think this is a good one. In the end, you don't pay the piper with excuses. You pay with everything you have. Sam Spade. See, now you could look at what I just did as a contradiction, and because I was just like, you know, kind of ragging on AI for not being consistent, and then I just kind of went and wasn't consistent, right? Because I said I wasn't going to read the quotes anymore, but then I went and read the quote. Now, the thing is, you have to be able to pivot and change things, but also be aware, have enough self-awareness to call them out and, you know, make note of the changes and stuff like that. And it's not the same thing. That's like comparing apples to oranges. I'm talking about like literally like not making any freaking sense like at all is what I've been experiencing with that, and with a lot of people as well, not just AI. But anyway, so So there's going to be some kind of evidence, some kind of search and seizure in somebody that lives in a penthouse, or somebody high up in power that's basically orchestrating all this nonsense. So what is this evidence, I guess? Let me see. A click of the log. Alright, so let's just see what comes out from here regarding this evidence seizure. The life insurance policy. So having to do something with a life insurance policy. Whose life are we talking about here, Spirit? Because I mean, we're talking about international issues. Like, whose life? A nemesis. What is the vocation of this nemesis? A saint. How does that make any sense? So they come off like they're a saint, but they're really a nemesis? Well, who are they a nemesis to? They're a nemesis to these people that are orchestrating stuff. Who are they a nemesis to? Somebody's son? Are you talking about what I think you're talking about? No. Huh. Okay. Who's his son? The hotel manager? The fuck? So the nemesis, the son is, okay, the saint is a nemesis to the son. The son is trying to take out a life insurance policy on the saint. The son is a hotel manager. The saint is a bounty hunter. This is so wild. What kind of story is this? Oh my god. This is crazy. Is that a rainy cemetery? The basement. Blindfold. Somebody's blindfolded in a basement. It's going to lead them to be in a cemetery. That's what the life insurance policy is. So the saint is currently blindfolded in the basement of the son, who's a hotel manager. Oh, probably in the basement of the hotel. The saint is a bounty hunter. The Hope Diamond. Is the Hope Diamond's involved? Yeah, the idea of hope's been coming up a lot. It's very important. All right, so what is going to be the outcome of this situation, Spirit? You know what? I'm going to clear this. Hold on. All right, first things first, actually, I want to see whose son is this? Who's the son? Brother's son. Somebody's brother's son. Whose brother? Neighbor. Somebody's neighbor. What is the neighbor's occupation? Actor, A-list. Who's the brother's occupation? What's the brother's occupation? Department of Agriculture. Alright. I feel like that's sufficient for that. Now let's see what the outcome is in the situation. If this war... actually, let's see. How can we do this? Let's just see what comes out. The crime scene sketch. The Gilded of Ice. The heirloom jewel. We were talking about the Hope Diamond before. The award ceremony in the reverse. The cracked pavement. This wanted to fall like before this, so I feel like this is like preceding this. It's crossing, so we'll just keep it over there for now. The front page headline in the reverse. The blind eye in the reverse. Okay. So, two of spades. The crime scene sketch. Translating the imagination into a plan of response. Conceptualization, translation, architect, visionary. A hand drawing a chalk outline, but the outline starts to rise off the floor as a 3D translucent structure. The detective is literally receiving, in quotes, the vision of what happened. One must see the crime before the criminal. One must imagine the impossible to find the possible. Okay. So essentially you're saying, okay, we're going to prepare the scene for you. So, and also somebody's going to receive a vision of it. Either through this reading or after this reading. The Gilded of Ice, 6 of diamonds. In the upright, so, well, the Gilded of Ice, manifestation of renown through material security, wealth, and inheritance, but it's in the reverse. So it is materialism, loneliness, hollow victory, bankruptcy of spirit. So this war, that's what's happening with this war, okay? Materialism, loneliness, Hollow victory, bankruptcy of spirit. Does not sound fruitful or fun. I made enough money to buy the city, but I'm the only one left in it. I can't stand. It's the same message my wicked stepmother got in her reading. You might want to take that into consideration. I think it's just already too late at this point. Like, everyone's been... I don't know. This is just... pretty ridiculous. Okay. The heirloom jewel. So, we got manifestation of worth through money, inheritance, and material security. Idealization, curation, artistic vision, poise, a hand opening a jewelry box to reveal a flawless diamond. This is the second house. Manifest tangible, high value security that buys safety and splendor. So, back to the... So, trying to inherit this priceless heirloom is going to result in your soul getting taken from you, or your soul getting depleted. Okay? The cracked pavement. 5 of hearts. Structural integrity and the resonance of a city under stress. Rigidity, infrastructure, consequence, and order. A set of iron bars reflecting in a puddle. The resonance is the rigid, unyielding structure of the law. Cold, hard, and necessary to keep the chaos at bay. The law is a blunt instrument. It is not designed for surgery. It's designed for impact. So the law, universal law I'm getting, of a higher order is coming in. And we got 6 of spades. The award ceremony in the reverse. Fraud, paranoia, superficiality, empty pride. The detective is backstage sweating, staring at a stolen award. They are responding to a glory they did not earn, living in fear of being found out. And because this was crossing on this, that's saying prison bars, justice coming in for that. Then we got the front page headline in the reverse. So that is scandal, lost reputation, notoriety, humiliation. The same newspaper as in the upright, it talks about a detective, a photo of a detective, say, the headline screaming "City Savior." So in this one, the same newspaper, but the headline is a smear campaign. Corrupt cop exposed. The willpower has been twisted into a public disgrace. I don't mind what they say about me as long as they spell my name right. Usually on a warrant. Philip Marlowe. Okay. So, no honor, no glory. Prison bars. Then we got 4 of wands. The blind eye in the reverse. Cruelty, legalism, persecution, and malice. A flashlight beam hitting a face in the dark, unyielding and pitiless. The will is used to punish without exception. There is no such thing as a clean kill. Every bullet leaves a hole in the world. cruelty, legalism, persecution, and malice. Punishment without exception, no mercy. In the upright, it would be forgiveness and restraint. So, no mercy for this situation. That's what Spirit is saying is going to happen. I mean, it's pretty obvious. That's what would happen from play stupid games. You win stupid prizes. All right, is that everything? All right, so I did a pre-poll. This was so we didn't. I feel like we addressed this pretty thoroughly, but we didn't really tap into the energetic blockages, which is the whole point of it. So to start off with, we have flow, confront, it looks like he's confronting like his inner child. He's holding his heart space, tapping into the waters that are connected through everything. Seeking the answers through the trees and the birds. I was told that's one way you can escape the matrix is by connecting deeply with the trees and the birds. Well-deserved reward, simply love. Love is its own reward, but oh look, he's holding a little book with a heart on it. The Book of Life's been coming up a lot. I wonder if that's, talking about that in a way. Like, well-deserved reward is like this new life. If, the work's done with the flowing, the confronting the wounded child, the wounded inner child that's causing the impulsivity, the tyrannical nonsense, the confusion. This will help seeking to clear the confusion, seeking the answers from nature, reconnecting with nature, and that will give the rewards. All right, I'll read from the book. Flow. This one is page 49. Keyword: attract, expect, release, serendipity, cycles, expansions. The energies around you at this time are positive and are driving you forward. Let yourself flow with these energies and put them to good use. This is an opportune time to attract your heart's desires. Do you want more love, peace, or greater understanding? Is your heart calling out for a new relationship? Does a current relationship need improvement? Focus on your desires and allow them to manifest by expecting them to. At the same time, release yourself to the flow. Events greater than you can ever imagine may be heading your way. Project your desires, but also be open to new possibilities. Good fortune and joyful synchronicities come with the flow card. Open your heart and arms wide and embrace what comes to you. Nothing is static. Life flows in cycles, expanding and contracting, changing and growing. You may be entering a new cycle regarding matters of the heart. Welcome this new cycle. When a stone is tossed into a pond, the ripples flow with the water as they expand and grow. You're in an exciting period of forward movement and expansion, heading into the unknown. This forward movement may guide you into new relationships or out of old ones. In either case, know that the change is for your highest good. The energy of expansion will help you grow into your new situation gracefully, safely, and comfortably. Affirmation: I move forward with grace and ease. The traditional tarot archetype is the Wheel of Fortune. So yes, stop trying to control the wheel and just go with the flow. That's the advice with that. So there's a flow blockage. That's what's causing these specific issues, okay? Next is confront. Keywords: fear, question, explore, courage, illusion, clarity. Introspection and clarity are important at this time. Feelings that have lain dormant are now coming to the surface. They have been part of your subconscious for some time. They're referred to as your shadow self and represent all of your fears and delusions regarding matters of the heart. You may have concerns about examining these issues, but know that when an issue rises to the surface, it's ready to be faced and healed. Have the courage to acknowledge and confront these newly emerging feelings. Look at them from all sides and try to determine where they first came from. When and how were they planted in your subconscious? Question the validity of these feelings. Often they were based on your childhood imagination and are no more than illusions. They're not appropriate for your adult relationships, yet they persist. They're not based on reality, but they're powerful influences and can affect your relationships in major ways. They can even prevent a romantic relationship from manifesting. Have the courage to explore your beliefs and misconceptions about love. You may find that these emerging feelings are based not only on your limited perceptions, but also on what you actually saw or experienced as a child. Know that whatever your reality was then, it does not have to be your reality now. You are no longer that person. Examine these feelings and gain clarity on who you are and what is true for you regarding your relationships. One thing I've learned in this life is it is insanely important to control your emotions and not let them devour you. I have emotional asthma, so if I laugh too hard or cry too hard or scream too hard, I literally go into an asthma attack. So like, I was programmed to come into this life with like a freaking warning, like a alarm system. That's how, important it was for me personally, I guess, to do it. Like, I needed like a crutch or something to teach me, like the bumpers in a bowling alley, So yeah, it's really important, and I feel like it can really damage anyone's health if they go into excess of any type of emotion. You have to stay balanced. It doesn't mean you can't express your emotions. You need to express your emotions, from especially not all the time like that. Like, you shouldn't be crying like every single day and stuff like that. But it's okay to let out a good cry once in a while. But it really is important to try to control yourself, because there literally is, reports like of people passing away from laughing too much, let alone crying. You know what I mean? Anger, any emotion, you can pass away from that if you go into excess. And then, not to mention what it does on the whatchamacallit, like the energetic field. It just makes it all wonky. So, okay. I examine my feelings about relationships and release what is no longer my truth. The traditional tarot archetype is the moon. So far we have the Wheel of Fortune and the moon. Flow. In tune with flow. Confront your emotions. Confront the source of your emotions. And release it. Release all the burdens and the BS. Adopt that I don't give a fuck about this shit attitude and like truly mean it. Okay. Seek, quest, understand, retreat, solitude, introspection, guidance. Some individuals become so engrossed in a relationship or in wanting a relationship that all perspective is lost. The relationship becomes their world and they lose sight of themselves. This card suggests that now is the time to take a step back, either from a relationship or from the desire for one, and go on an internal quest to rediscover yourself. One of my favorite sayings is, there can't be a we until there's a me. If this resonates with you, it's time to have a dialogue with your higher self and your guides about who you are and what you really need in life. You may be surprised by the answers. This is also a good time to physically retreat from your busy life and relationships. Attending a spiritual retreat would be optimal. However, simply finding some time for solitude and introspection can be just as beneficial. Take a walk in nature, quiet your mind, and listen for messages from the birds and trees. Give yourself the gift of a daily 5-minute meditations. Pull a card from the deck and sit with the card's image, seeking its deeper meaning for you about what role relationships play in your life. You may feel that you need assistance in your quest for greater understanding regarding what you need in a relationship, or even how to handle a specific relationship. Find a guide or mentor who is knowledgeable in matters of the heart and converse with that person. I take time for solitude and introspection. Traditional tarot archetype is the Hermit. So, Wheel of Fortune, Moon, Hermit. Now, I've been talking about in quite a few readings this book called Healthy Relationships, so I guess this is going to apply here as well. Should probably be taken into consideration. 101. There's also by something Rosenberg, Nonviolent Communication. And I want to say precipice. I don't know if that's the right word, but the main idea with the book is talking about discovering your needs versus your wants. Okay, what are your needs in a relationship? Determining that is extremely important. I felt drawn to these conversation cards real quick. Let's just see what comes up regarding, the seeking for what is needed in a relationship. Standing up. Describe a time when your friend asked you to do something that you didn't want to do or should not do. Anything you would do differently? What can you do when someone pressures you to do something? So somebody might have been pressuring you in a relationship. You might have fallen into a lot of cycles of abuse, toxic relationships. What can you do when someone pressures you to do something? Say no and say bye-bye. What else? Friendship. Think of a good friend. What makes this person a good friend? How should a friend make you feel about yourself? Why? So, really honing in, making a list. What is a good friend? Let's see. what would be a good friend? What would be a good friend for this person, Spirit? What traits would they have? Or for these people, or just everybody in general. What? I don't know. Just, let's see. How many different people do we got here? 5. Alright, so how many for the first person? Just 1? Okay. You know what? I feel like that's not... How many for the first person? We got 2, 2, and 6. So I'll just do... I'll do 4. Party animal. These beings tend to enjoy parties and letting everyone know by hyping up a crowd and performing party tricks. Oh, so I should probably say, like, pick a number between 1 and 5, okay? And that's going to be your traits for friendship that Spirit thinks, you know, you should look for. So this is number 1. You know, let's start over. Okay. So... choose your number. Pause the video if you need to. Okay. Number 1. Long-lived. Permanently increased lifespan. Doesn't help with accidents that one may befall. So somebody that has a long lifespan, because maybe perhaps you've lost a lot of people. So this is saying, you know, somebody who takes care of themselves really well, that has a high vitality factor, would be a good trait for you to look for. That's something you need. You need somebody has very high vitality. A collector. Automatic boost to the rarity of any found object in the world, including fish, gems, and seeds. So Spirit's saying you need somebody who collects stuff. That would be beneficial for you. Okay? Hold on. Okay, next trait. And we're going to put this over here. Put this over here. Move these over. Dastardly. You know what, though? This was in the reverse. I guess I should take a reversal. So take it as it resonates, okay? Because it wasn't a reverse. So maybe you need somebody that's not into collecting stuff. Maybe that's like something you don't really like. You were with somebody who's like a hoarder maybe, or something like that, or they collected like nefarious kind of trophies, because this is talking about war and international disputes. Dastardly in the reverse. Being has ability to perform powerful negative, mischief, and mean type social interactions and increased success at negative interactions. These beings attempt negative socials more often. Yeah, you definitely don't need that. I don't think anybody needs that. High metabolism in the reverse. Slower rate of body fat increase and increased muscle gain. When working out, these beings tend to seek out to exercise more than those without this trait. So maybe you don't really like working out and stuff. You want somebody who doesn't have a high metabolism for some reason. Maybe because like people with high metabolisms eat all the time and you just don't like that. There's something incompatible with people that have high metabolisms for you, okay? Alright, so that's the message for choice number 1. All right, now we're going on to number 2. How many? Just one. Well, let's see. Oh my god, I'm flinging crap everywhere. You know, I think we'll just do 4 for each person, okay? Animal affection in reverse. So you don't really like animals or pets. Maybe, you know, you had problems with past partners that had pets. And maybe they also just loved animals more than humans, and you really need somebody who's going to give you all the attention and affection. Neat. These beings become happy and have fun when performing household chores, can have a cleaning frenzy, become really uncomfortable in dirty surroundings. So you need somebody who's not neat, somebody who, maybe they're not a slob, but they're not a neat freak, you know, who freaks out about messes. Okay, next. Collector. Automatic boost to the rarity of any found object in the world, including fish, gems, and seeds. So, unlike the last person, yours came in the upright. You need somebody that has that trait. Maybe you like to go fishing, you like to look for cool gemstones, you like to find seeds. Likes to live in fear. A boring individual who doesn't try to change the world in any significant manner needs to experience at least 5 block parties ASAP. Oh my god. So you know, maybe spirits is saying you need somebody who's boring. Maybe you've had way too many, like, that was the whole thing with, like, being impulsive and all that. Like, maybe you need somebody who's super boring, okay? You know, you might need to have fun from time to time, but for the most part, y'all could be boring together and go fishing and search for gemstones and seeds and be silent and solemn and boring about it, okay? And that's fine if that is what makes you happy, because that's what matters at the end of the day, not bringing out that war rage energy, but instead bring out the happiness. Okay, this one to come out. Pile 3, survivalist. Something you need in a friend is somebody who is a survivalist. This being provides extreme emotional buffs and physical security buffs if they are camping with gear or without. Emotional control dictates how well beings can suppress negative emotions, especially anger and jealousy. Yes, that sounds very like a very good trait to have. Oh my god. I'm like yawning, I'm burping. I'm a hot mess over here right now. I barely slept last night. I've been nonstop doing crap all day. Squeamish, nauseated by the sight of creepy crawlies, vomiting, violence, and death. Becomes uncomfortable and tense when near anything dirty. Okay, so, you know, you need somebody who's appalled by violence and death. Perhaps you've been exposed to it a little bit way too much. Now, the thing that's contradictory here is a survivalist, but they're squeamish. Creepy crawlers, but that's good, because then they'll probably be like an uppity kind of survivalist where they keep the bugs away. They have all these techniques that keep them away, you know? Self-assured. These beings tend to be confident. Yeah, emotional control, self-assured. Beautiful. Alright, so now we're on to pile 4. Remember, the main thing is we need to stand up against people trying to pressure us to do something that we know we should not be doing. Like going to war with other countries and destroying the ocean and destroying the institutions and dumbing people down. You know, all that kind of stuff. Alright, I'm just going to draw all the cards and then we'll talk about them. All in reverse. So this one, okay. So you need a fisher, somebody that fishes. These beings receive special emotional buffs when fishing that can help cancel negative emotions. Home turf. These beings experience a significant increase to their happiness when they're in their home neighborhood. You do not want somebody who's a homebody, who is only comfortable with being in their hometown. You do not want someone who's a recycle disciple. These beings are rapid recyclers that benefit from recycling and rummaging through trash for bits and pieces needed to utilize a fabricator. You do not want that. That's not going to be good for you. And you do not want someone who's laid back. You probably want somebody who's super hyper and wild. This trait completely prevents the tense emotion from triggering. You don't want somebody who's completely crazy and wild. I shouldn't say that. Nobody needs that. But you need somebody who's got, like, let's go kind of energy and let's go have fun. Like, you know, let's get out there. Let's go fishing. Let's get out of this house. We're not going to recycle though. All right. That's what you need. Crap. I'm like brain dead, guys. I don't even know. Was that 4 or was that 5? I think that was the last one. Okay. If it wasn't the last one, I'm sorry. If it wasn't, here you go. Non-committal. You need someone who's non-committal. These beings become tense after a while in the same job, or you need somebody who's not non-committal, I meant to say, okay? So you need somebody who's committed to you. Okay. All right, let's try to finish this. Well-deserved rest, simply love. So 9. Red. $93. Discipline, gracious, compassion, and satisfaction. Your efforts are paying off. When this card appears, it suggests that you have seen or will soon find your relationships falling into place. It hasn't always been easy, but you had the discipline to persevere. As you work to create fulfilling relationships, you sometimes had to give more than you would have liked, but you've seen the positive results of that action. You kept the ultimate goal in mind. Be proud of yourself. You've shown that you're self-reliant and confident. You're entering a phase of your life where your dealings with others will become effortless. Be considerate and compassionate in your interactions. There's less need for confrontation now. Diplomacy is the better approach. As you move forward, expect to feel satisfaction with your accomplishments regarding love in its many aspects. You're being blessed for your hard work. Yay! This is like, you know, after working on ourselves, figuring out what we need, and honing in on our emotional control is going to bring these well-deserved rewards. This looks like somebody I know. That's kind of creepy. I'm not even gonna say it, but all right. So simply love. Okay, green. $107. Innocence, nostalgia, kindness, and children. People are often People often fondly remember the innocence of youth as a time when life seems simpler. This card is a call to action to bring that innocence and energy into the present, into your relationships. As much as you can, interact with others from a pure and open heart, full of love and free of ulterior motives. Do this and you'll find that your relationships will deepen and require far less effort. When you reminisce about your past, bring back only the happy memories and cherish them. Yeah, see, like, you know, I personally really don't like talking about the past. I'm so done with the past. I'm so done. But Spirit's been asking me to bring up the past a lot lately. And I guess, like, because I didn't deal with some of it. Or it was like there was just so much misinformation out there about me that it needed to kind of, like, be dealt with. I'm not really sure, but I think it also had to do with, like, my wound in my Chiron is in the 3rd house. And so it has to do with communication and not being heard and being told you have an annoying voice all the time and being shut down and everyone saying you're annoying every time you talk and that kind of thing. And that's happened to me my whole life, basically. So it's made me, like, have a really hard time sharing anything with anybody. So Spirit, I guess, just wanted me to, like, address that. So somebody else that's here might be struggling with that. You might want to look at where your Chiron placement is on your chart. That could tell you a lot of what you need to work at with your personal emotional blockages going on. Look for ways to help family and friends, especially children. Reach out to them and assist them in any way you can. Sometimes just a bit of attention is all that someone needs. Where kindness prevails, relationships flourish. And if you're hoping to become pregnant or adopt a child, this card is a positive sign. Okay. So you might be thinking about adopting a child or trying to have a child of your own. So Spirit is encouraging that. Okay, so next we're just going to do the angels. So we have Kahil, I can't say these. Oh my god. Kahethel, this eyeball looking guy. That's kind of creepy looking. Manadel. So we got the adored god. We got stuff falling all over the place. Disturbance in the force. The adored God, the honorable God, God the eternal lasting in reverse. So that probably needs to be worked on, I guess. The marvelous God. God who rejoices in the reverse. Yeah, God's not happy about all these decisions that were made to punish and persecute others in such a brutal and egregious way. I mean, even just I don't know. I'm not going to get into too much of that right now. Okay, and then we have the comforting God, which I don't know what this picture is. What the frig is this? That looks so inappropriate and weird. Everyone's naked. You got one angel jumping on another angel's back, or is that, and they're naked? And he's blindfolded. That's some freaky ass shit. I don't even know if I could show that. Oh my god. Okay. Alright, we got What the heck is that? All right. Cahithel. Page 39. My throat is kicking, man. Yippee yip yap and way too much today. Did like freaking 20 readings or something. I don't know. Alright, the adored God. Oh, come, let us worship and bow down. Let us kneel before the Lord our Maker. The person born under this angel's influence will love work, agriculture, the countryside, and hunting, and will be very active in business. Cahithel serves to obtain God's blessing and to chase away evil spirits. You can take a look at that. If your birthday might be on those days, this might be a little more relevant for you. So basically saying that, you know, you have this rules agricultural production. Where did it say that? Oh yeah, agriculture. So this is the energy that's supporting, you know, the international affairs, okay? This is supporting the diplomacy, this energy, okay? Then we have Manadel. Inner and outer work helps one keep their job. I'm not going to read from the book. I'm just going to look at these because, you know, we're going a little too long here. Inner and outer work, it takes so long for me to upload these videos. So, and then my phone will like overheat. Eventually, I will hopefully be out of Ghetto City, but... Alright, inner and outer work helps one keep their job, protects against disasters. Okay, so this energy's supporting you. Sorry, I'm hearing like people acting cray. Little chillins acting a little cray. I think it's okay. Inner and outer work helps one keep their job, protects against disasters. I mean, so that's good energy to have when you're dealing with all these, like, conflicts with war and all this other stuff. So to call on this angel and call on this angel to help you with supporting that. There's also the Ace of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles. So that's, like, very fruitful manifestation energy. But then we have the High Priestess in the reverse, which is the exact opposite of manifestation energy. Success, protection from magistrates. So there won't be success, especially pertaining to money. I feel like is the other underlying message here. Then we have Luia. Something with protection from magistrates. Oh my god, that's like the judgment energy that came out earlier. This is an energetic blockage, you know, like the judgment, trying to prevent or deny judgment is blocking the energy, and you need to flow, confront your demons, seek the truth of what you really need, and then you'll get the reward. You keep blocking it, you're not going to get the reward. The marvelous God, Luia, revelation, protects from sadness, gives revelations. So ask Luia to give you revelations on how to heal these wounds. Take the 10 swords out of your back and everybody else's back. And then we got Iazel. Divine comfort, gives consolation and protection from one's enemies in the reverse. So there's a blockage there with being in comfort. We did earlier see that card, the velvet curtain or whatever in reverse. It was talking about this whole situation is like leading to... Okay, this is really freaking me out. Dude, tell me that this don't look like I don't want to say it, though. I feel like I'm being, like... They're saying neither yes nor no. Nor no. And I don't know why I'm making it so awkward, but I'm just not going to say anything. It's just freaking me out. Okay. So gives consolation and protection from one's enemies. I don't even know what I was saying now. Oh, with the velvet curtain in reverse, it was talking about, you know, all this endeavors. There was this divine potential, and it ended up getting wasted into producing, you know, rot and festering ooze. So, it, you know, it didn't help anything. Okay. And then we got, hold up. All right. And then our human design cards is graciousness. This is a really beautiful picture. I love this deck so much. It's just like such a beautiful deck. This deck must have taken them forever to make. Written and illustrated by Bryn A. Magnuson. I don't know how to say that. And it's funny, I have this sticker on here, like, from Alice in Wonderland. I don't remember, like, how that got on there. Okay. So, graciousness, social grace, caution, plus openness. Those who hold this channel are socially graceful and warm beings who draw on others to vicariously enjoy life, love, music, art, etc. Timing and mood can guide them to know when to use their strong social empowerment for others or when to retreat into solitary periods. Although this channel carries enormous social warmth and encouragement, those with this channel must be aware that their moods inform when it is or is not an appropriate time to be social or open. Listening to and honoring the emotional wave allows those with this channel to navigate into correct situations for them. The social grace of this channel has much to do with the dynamic ability to be open and friendly or introverted and guarded in accordance to the moment. So finding that balance between it, finding the proper flow that's going to allow our needs to be met in a friendship, in a relationship, in a partnership, whatever it may be. Whatever you want to call it. Okay. And so sorry, I'm just like really thinking about something else right now that's just kind of blowing my mind, but it's okay. Hermit Savior 2-5 profile. The second line Hermit is conscious in the 2-5 profile, making the private nature of this profile more consciously prominent than the Savior nature. The second line is a natural. What? It has only enough energy to be naturally. I don't know. I think that's a typo. To be naturally gifted for the things that call to it into action. That selective potential can work with an ease and unity that does not require intellectual training. Otherwise, the second line calls for privacy, independence, and alone time out of the gaze of others. It's so funny because it's like very similar to this card we just talked about. And then I talked about the second line earlier. That was I think that was the velvet curtain one. The fifth line in the body creates an unconscious, seductive aura that prompts others to project on them for help. The fifth line and the second line are the only two lines with a projection field. In first impressions, the second line creates negative projections, while the fifth line creates positive projections. The 2-5 and 5-2 are the only profiles that experience both projections. Since the fifth line is in the unconscious design, the 2-5 will be less aware of the seductive fifth line projection field, nor will they be as aware of the fifth line burnt at the stake reaction, which occurs when those who felt their expectations were not met by the 2-5 will place anger and blame on the fifth line person for failing to stay on the pedestal they were placed upon. Oh yeah, I've heard someone who is a 5-2 like talk about this, how people like project their crap on them all the time. And I've actually probably done that myself to that person. So if you're listening, I'm sorry if I ever did that to you. That's pretty wild. I mean, but it's like it's in their nature. I'm like half brain dead right now, so I don't like fully understand all that, but wait, what is this on? It's like Neptune? The Trident? Savior. Unconscious. Fifth line Savior. Conscious. Second line Hermit. Oh, we got the Hermit card as well. Here. The Moon and the Hermit. Interesting. Okay. Authority, self-identity. Self-identity authority is the inner knowing to hear the guidance of the identity G center through the emanations of the voice, finding clarity. Self-identity authority occurs when all the centers below the identity G center are undefined. The G center is your heart space. Self-identity authority finds clarity by listening to what one's voice organically says about who they are, their path, or their identity. In this authority, the wisdom of inner truth is originating from the inner compass of the identity G center and expressing through the voice, illuminating the internal or external direction. Whichever defined channels are connecting the identity G center to the throat will provide the theme of expression and reveal the individual direction of the G center. This expression of self is the key to providing personal inner clarity. So that's that Seek card. Again, oh, that's, which one's the Hermit? Yeah, that's the Hermit as well. It is helpful to have confidantes with excellent listening skills who can help the self-identity authority person hear their truth through their own words. Oh, that's so interesting. There's this book called The Listener that I posted on my IG, a page from it, a couple pages from it. Maybe you should read that book. So, like, yeah, the Hermit would be the listener, I think, right? I don't know, but some food for thought. Okay, next we got Cross of Cycles. Someone with the Cross of Cycles will deal in themes of cycles, evolution, and development. This cross is always a high responsibility cross because it contains the entire channels of maturation and transformation within it. All 4 incarnation cross gates are always in a channel. The channel of maturation holds the energy of beginnings, middles, and ends, maturing, developing, and restarting. The channel of transformation deals in adaptability and a drive to progress. While all living beings, there's that adaptability thing again. It was in, I think, one of the resolution cards was talking about being adaptable. adaptable. It's not even a word. I feel like I can't words right now. Compromising or whatever for peace. Being willing to not be like a tyrant and like forcing will upon others. Yeah. Okay. Deals in adaptability and a drive to progress. While all living beings in the world live within greater cycles, people on this cross take on cycles as a substantial theme throughout life. Cycling, developing, ending, redoing, repeating, evolving, restarting. These are people who can start you on a path of transformation. These beings can act like tripwires to initiate a sequence of development. If someone with a cross of cycles crosses your path, be aware that the phases of your cycles might be amplified. So this could be something to look out for, and you're working in a team with people. You don't want too many people with this, because then it's going to amplify the phases of the cycles. It's going to make everything way too intense and then cause chaos and confusion. So you need to make sure your team works well together, that there's an energy flow and a structure that works good together. Okay? Also, let's do this self-identity, like figuring out what your energy channels are. Looking into your own human design could help. And you could look into the tropical or the Vedic, whichever one. You could look into both, see which one resonates more for you. It's a matter of like having this understanding and blueprint in your mind's eye of who you are, how you function in those frameworks, and then that will help translate that into the real world where you are interacting with people, especially a team in a business, and you're able to function in a cohesive and peaceful manner. Because you understand yourself, and then you also understand your coworkers, because you want to make sure you know their energies as well, their channels as well, how they go together. Next, we have generator, manifesting generator. Generators and MGs make up the majority of the population. These are sacral beings who emanate their life force energy through the defined sacral center. They have energy available depending on what they have a sacral response to. They're either turned on or off by life stimuli. The strategy of generators and MGs is to respond to what makes them feel fueled with energy, invigorated, or enthusiastic. Generators have either an on reaction that awakens and turns on their sacral energy, or an off reaction that feels devoid of fuel. This reaction is the most reliable guidance for a generator. The aura of generators and MGs is warm and enveloping. It is the sacral life force emanating out of them and enveloping anyone who comes into their aura. When a generator MG disregards their sacral response, feelings of frustration arise. Conversely, when a generator can heed and honor their sacral desires, they experience feelings of satisfaction. So a big problem with this is a lot of people that are MGs and other we have reflectors, we have projectors. I feel like projectors wouldn't typically do that, but there are some negative, like more negative types of projectors, I guess. I don't know. I got this download where it's talking about how like generators are the prime like vampire source of energy, and that really sucks because and that's probably why I think it's pointing out like that could be a main reason why there's so much strife going on in the world because of this being abused, this energy, energy type, couldn't think of the word, sorry, being abused, and then, you know, them not knowing how to tap into their sacral response, causing them to be in the not self and put out those negative emotions and energetic vibrations, because they're constantly pumping out this energy, and then when they're not self, it's going to be this negative energy, which is not good. It's going to cause war, or make it the war worse. Okay, so definitely being aware of this and knowing how to tap into this. The sacral response is like if something makes you go like or if it makes you go ugh, like how does it make you feel? And something else about it too, I believe, is like you have to hear it out loud, either from recording your own voice saying the thing, like, I can either go to the bowling alley or I can go to the movies. Or I'm going to the movies. I'm going to the bowling alley. And then you listen to that back. How did hearing I'm going to the movies make you feel? Did it give you a feeling, or did it give you a feeling? So that's like what that is. And it can help to have somebody else like say a suggestion to you, and then think about how it makes you feel, really tap into it. But just recording yourself can also help. Also, people like to manipulate. Like I said, they use generators for vampiric energy siphoning. And so if you can't obtain a 100% confidante or whatever, somebody that you can 100% trust, then you can trust yourself and just record your own self, go out in the woods or something and meditate and listen to your own voice, make the suggestions, the give you the choices that you're wavering over, and then tap into that sacral response. All right, guys, so that's the message that I have for you for this reading. I hope you gained something out of it that's positive. Please feel free to comment down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Like, share, subscribe, follow, all the things. I greatly appreciate it. And I will catch you on the next one. Bye.